Once Upon a Time by Hobbit Falls on Archive of Our Own. Narrated by Kimberly Likes Tea. Chapter 7 The Clever Little Tailor.
Hereby I decree,
Deuce began, reading off a scroll,
that whoever answers my riddle correctly will have my hand in marriage.
A cry of determination was heard from the large crowd that stood underneath the balcony as Deuce entered the castle. Once the doors were closed, he leaned against them and sighed, waking up in a new story, only to be pushed into a balcony in the view of a large crowd of his supposed wooers, while wearing a shawl around his head, was not what he expected. He gathered his wits about him, and ended up making through his entire speech without stumbling once. He had spotted Ace in the crowd, and confusion overtook him when he noticed Idia and Ortho standing next to him, both looking confident. Ortho he understood, but Idia? These stories were driving him insane. He let out another sigh as he made his way to the throne to await the many, many wooers. One by one they appeared. One by one, they walked away dejectedly. How hard was it for them to answer a simple question right? He perked up a bit when Ace, Ortho, and Idia approached him. He grinned at Ace before asking the question.
What two colors are my hair?
He asked smugly. Black and white, Idia replied, frowning when Deuce shook his head.
Brown and red,
Ortho replied, looking dejectedly at the ground when Deuce shook his head again.
Gold and silver,
Ace piped up, ignoring the rolling eyes from both Idia and Ortho. Deuce's grin whitened as he took off his shawl, gold and silver hair falling towards his shoulders. Ace's eyes whitened as his breath hitched at Deuce's new hair color.
That is correct, my little tailor,
Deuce said, delighting at how Ace's face turned red.
However, there is another trial you must complete.
Of course. Ace nodded, kneeling.
Whatever your majesty demands. Okay, I was not expecting that,
Ace said as he and Deuce walked towards the stalls.
Your hair is actually gold and silver, and longer!
I just hope it changes back to black.
Deuce sighed, playing with his now grown hair.
Also, Idia and Ortho are in this one? Really?
Yeah,
Ace laughed.
They're my older brothers, apparently. They don't seem to like me very much.
Deuce chuckled at this, smiling when they approached the stalls.
Now, my little tailor.
Deuce grinned, Ace frowning at that.
This is your next test. Spend the night in a stall with a bear.
I'm sorry, a bear? Why? Just why?
I don't know.
Deuce shrugged.
That's just how the story goes.
First it was turning into a damn frog, now this. You are so lucky I love you. Ace muttered, Deuce's heart skipping a beat. All right, let's just get this over with.
Good luck.
Darkness had fallen, and Ace was sitting in a stall, with a bear cracking nuts. This story's ridiculous, he huffed, eyeing the surprisingly docile bear. From what I remember, I have to give the bear rocks? Looking around, he grabbed a pile of rocks and gave them to the bear. It then began to try and crack open the rocks, but to no avail. Ace blinked at this before taking a rock, quickly substituting it for a nut behind his back, and cracking it open. The bear in turn looked at him bewildered, and Ace chuckled.
Dumb bear,
he thought, before his eyes landed on a fiddle.
A fiddle?
Taking it in his hands, muscle memory took over him, and he began to play.
What? I've never touched this instrument before in my life.
He looked up and was startled to see the bear dancing to the tune. He let this go on for a while before stopping.
Now,
He said when the bear gave him a disappointed look.
you dance horribly. However, I can teach you. We just need to cut your nails first. Here.
He held out a hand which the bear delicately placed on its paw. Instantly, Ace took the vise that was next to him and clamped it on the bear's paw, trapping the creature in the stall as he escaped.
Now, to find Deuce and get the hell out of this story. I can't believe you've read this story multiple times.
Ace huffed, folding his arms.
This is the stupidest one we've been in so far.
I didn't really read this one much.
Deuce hummed from where his head was on Ace's shoulder.
Wasn't really a big fan of it.
After Ace had made his way back to Deuce, who was overjoyed to see him, the two of them were declared to be married. Ace was so distracted by Deuce crowding around him that he didn't notice Idia and Ortho sneak out of the castle. Now, he and Deuce were in a carriage on their way to a cathedral to get married.
Do you know what happens next?
Your brothers, that is to say Idia and Ortho, are going to release the bear and try to attack the carriage we're in.
What? When?
Just about now. Just stick your leg out and say it's a vice or whatever.
The growling of the bear was soon heard, and Ace followed Deuce's instructions. Sure enough, the bear fled.
This is the weirdest shit.
A quiet snore was heard, and Ace turned towards Deuce. The other boy had fallen asleep on Ace's shoulder, their hands clasped tightly together between them. Ace smiled at this before pushing Deuce's hair back and kissing his forehead. This turned out to be the moment that the light decided to come to take them away to the final story.
We're almost done, Deuce.
Ace smiled down at the other.
We'll escape this book sooner than we thought. Well, this took almost a year to come out. I'm sorry about that. Life has been kicking me in the butt. But hey, I finally got another part out. We're actually almost done with this fanfic. Just one more chapter to go. And thank you for listening this far. And if you like what I do, consider subscribing and maybe leave a comment and a like, and I would appreciate that. It is 12 a.m. in the morning, so yeah. Thanks again. Bye.